thought we were done talking about WoW, but apparently not. Just an interesting title that's captured my eyes. Uncovering the epidemic spreading through WoW. A clip from one of Bellular's streams, and I really like these guys. These two who just have very objective discussion and do a great job of challenging each other at times, and also just formulating very succinct points. I love these guys. So let's tune in and see what they have to say about what it is about WoW that's really forcing it into the Shadowlands, if you will. All right.
Next up, you've got some myriad ramblings, I am told.
Yes.
And I think because we have just done a non-World of Warcraft story, let's kick it off with boosting, because that seems like a slightly insane situation.
Okay, can I go get one beverage real quick?
Yep, there are Pepsi Maxes in the upstairs fridge. Two of them.
Fantastic, thank you very much.
There we go. See, I've cut down travel time.
Yep.
Bam.
This boosting topic's going to be big, so...
Yeah, Matt's been, there's just been some thinking and stuff going on regarding boosting, maybe some new info or something that Matt's came across. Honestly, I only found out about it like just before the stream. I have no idea what he's going to say, but it did.
Like boosting from Blizzard, the paid product, or boosting from players?
Seem rather
See if
big,
they clarify.
So that'll be interesting to cover. And here he is. The man is back.
The man of the hour.
He has got a Pepsi Max lime. Of course, lime, you know, doubling down on the citrusy notes that do make Pepsi Max superior to Coke Zero.
Yeah. Even the new Coke Zero.
Damn.
I've not tried the new Coke Zero.
It's not very different, to be honest. It's not very different, and also Pepsi Max Lime is second only to Pepsi Max Cherry. But
Quick side note. Cola? Ugh. I'm really over cola. Once in a blue moon. But I feel like these guys probably, enjoy their Pepsis every stream. Shouldn't do that.
Whoa.
well, yeah.
Might have to hit you with a big disagree. I mean, I like cherry, but
Fair.
this is why people are really here.
Yep. It's the Pepsi Max channel. But yeah,
I saw the top comment and it's like the Pepsi conversation is less depressing than the actual discussion. So I'm like, oh, brace yourself. Here we go.
boosting in World of Warcraft. Because I recently heard from someone that the PvP boosting community is in a very, very bad place.
PvP.
Yeah.
PvP boosting. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. And this is what I actually have heard about. But, I imagine this extends to PvPvE as well.
Sure.
But it's really, really... I'm trying to say this without incriminating anyone. But it seems like there's a lot of people making a lot of money off RMT and PvP boosting. And no one talks about it publicly because they're all making too much money from it.
Right.
And if you try to speak out about it in that scene, you'll get, you'll get
Blackballed. Wrecked.
And that's
okay.
Like, that's one part of the problem, but I kind of want to bring it back around to how boosting impacts World of Warcraft overall.
Well, it takes away from the entire community aspect of the game, right? The biggest thing is I'm at level 17. I want to start doing dead mines. I can't find a dead mines group. My option is boost or move on to a new questing zone. And so that just entirely eliminates an aspect designed for the game. And I didn't even realize that boosting PvP was like a prevalent thing. But more so, my research on botting and people selling boosts is that it wasn't very profitable. But then why are people still doing it? There has to be something missing from the puzzle here. So let's hope Matt can reveal that.
Because what I have heard is that PvP people are making, substantial amounts of money.
What does that mean?
And that's, if people can make money from something and Blizzard aren't doing anything about it, that's kind of Blizzard's problem. But the problem is that it impacts the community in a way.
Right.
Which is, why would you PvP when you can boost? Especially with the existing problems in PvP, where you've got all of the issues with the, people racking their own rating to make it unplayable for other people. and then you've got the entire bracket of gladiators just hopping back down to make real world money off their skill
Right.
in a way that's not like, it's not in a way you're making money by being a professional. You're making money through WoW token because that's where people are getting their gold from. And then you've got this whole system that Blizzard support via WoW token
Yeah.
of all this money being funneled through. And then, obviously you can't turn gold back into money, but you can.
So
Yeah, you can.
That is the interesting thing.
Yeah.
It does make WoW pay to win in a way token.
It is. That is the problem. World of Warcraft is pay to win because of the World of Warcraft token.
I just think
They think adding that extra step is somehow going to solve the botting problem. That's not why they came up with the WoW token. I've been saying this time and time again, but the WoW token is a way for Blizzard to intervene with the botters who are making clean profit off of their game. And they said, how do we take a piece of that? WoW token. It's not about making the game better for players. It's about increasing the bottom line by finding as many avenues for profit as possible.
maybe it is a situation where not enough people do that in a public and obvious way. And
Right.
it's not pay to win in like, I've just bought the best gear. It is buying access to the content that gives you the best gear. But it does mean that if somebody really has a lot of money, they can absolutely burn through that. And it's interesting when it gets into RMT though. Like, do you have any numbers? Like how much money are people making from this RMT stuff?
I don't want to say the number publicly because it might
Okay, might be incriminating.
some sort of communication, but it's
Could you live off of it annually by itself?
so, how do I say this in a way you would know? Probably double one channel's revenue a month
Wow.
for one person from full-time PvP boosting.
That's a job.
Wow. So basically what this means is if we got everyone at the company
Mhm.
to be a gladiator tier PvPer,
Mhm.
and all we cared about was making la dollary do, we just quit all the channels and we'd be like 8 PvP boosters.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. That's
That's intense. That's big news that I'm sure many people weren't aware of. To be able to make that amount of money, of course there's incentive to keep doing it. Especially since Blizzard isn't going to do anything about it. Now is a better time than ever to be a booster and accepting real money trading. It doesn't matter if it's against terms of service. Who's enforcing it?
a lot of money.
It seems to be an insane
PvP
amount of
boosting?
money. This is the PvP side of things, and that's only like a couple of data points, so it could be very different. That could be the top, that could be the bottom.
Yeah.
Hard to know, but there is a huge problem with that because it completely destroys the integrity of the PvP scene
Of course.
for anyone who's involved, and it's the kind of thing where it's sort of sneaky. It's sort of quiet. You don't see it, but then you will see it if you are, if you are 16, 1700, and then you're trying to queue in, but then item level gets involved. And then you've got people who do have the gear from up there that are now one-shotting you because that's how the game's balance actually works. And boosting is like, there's ways to solve that problem around without boosting, but it is absolutely brutal. And one of the other problems is that
Unplayable.
it's, well, Blizzard aren't doing anything about it,
Of course
despite
not.
the fact they know. I'm pretty sure Blizzard employees know.
Because they lean in like Kevin O'Leary. Do something about the bots. And, how does that make us money?
I mean,
Specifically
definitely.
about the RMT side of things, but they haven't done anything about it for whatever reason that may be. I'll leave that up to your imagination. I mean, I'm sure there's any number of reasons. There's anywhere from don't care to cronyism.
Sure.
Some-
Chris
in the middle.
Baker saying, wait, how do they turn gold back into real money? Well, it's that some people don't do it with gold.
Yep. There's one that's pretty bad, and it's you'll actually, I mean, they don't even hide it. But you'll see it in PvP streamers. They'll play with subs, which is an implicit boost.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah.
they'll play so many games with a sub. So someone goes, oh, here's, to be fair, that's only 250 or whatever else. But if that's a game or two, or then, bits or something like that. Or if you gift subs and play with more.
If playing with subs is okay in my head,
Yeah.
where that gets bad is if a streamer was to say,
If it's straight up, if you gift me 50 subs, then I'll boost you to Gladiator, that's wrong. If it's, I really like your content and I've been around for time and like I'd like to play some games with you and you benefit from playing with me because I'm a skilled player, that's different.
I don't know, I legit don't, I don't even
didn't know this
how
was a
many bits
thing.
is a penny. So maybe 10,000 bits is a lot of bits, or maybe not that many bits. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But
Right.
like, if a streamer said, "Yeah, give 3 or I don't know, give 40 gifted subs," or because just being sub to a channel is just like more of a, it's just like it's a one thing. It's an ongoing support. It's not that transactional.
Yeah.
But if you make that transaction, like, oh yeah, gift X amount of subs, gift 3,000 bits, and
Right.
you can join me for 5 games. I
Yep.
mean, then that sort of, it's like, it is in a way, it's paying for access to somebody that you watch, but then it is also paying for that person's skills as a booster. But I do imagine that the vast majority of this is going on, or I don't know, maybe it is going on more whenever it's just like on the DL. There's a Discord server, and
Yeah, the problem people are the people who they're not broadcasters, they're just keeping on the low, trying to draw as little attention as possible and only taking in people who they know aren't going to rat them out. It's got to be extremely low key, and it's only just come to surface, then Matt's discovering it, and even he himself is wary about going into too much detail and jeopardizing certain people. I'm not saying that he's in on it, I'm just saying, like, he understands the ramifications of some people who are complicit in this. So it makes all the sense in the world. It doesn't change the fact that it's not okay and it's ruining the game. There are a number of other reasons that the game is dwindling, so I feel like the profitability of a World of Warcraft PvP booster is a finite lifespan. However, they're cashing in pretty good. One like average YouTuber channel's revenue doubled. Damn.
it's all hushed and quiet, and we're like, okay, well, match made you and you, so go into the DMs and work out that.
Right.
Maybe it works out like that.
Yeah, I'm not completely sure yet. I've not finished any sort of investigations. I do want to do a big look into like the PvE side of things as well.
Sure.
I've heard some things there, but nothing quite as bad.
Gotcha.
Not to say that it doesn't exist there, but it's more the fact that RMT, as well as the WoW token in combination,
Right.
means that there is such a severe problem in World of Warcraft that I actually don't know what to call it. Man, I don't even know where to begin talking about the implications, because it's so subtle and it's happened over such a period of time with the inflation of golds in Warlords of Draenor and then the boosts. It's just a case of people buy boosts with gold. That obscures, that confirms boosting is a real thing that's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Blizzard are profiting from it, so they're less likely to, take any impact, which means it obscures all the RMT going on.
And I'm also under the impression that Blizzard hosts PvP tournaments actively, like in the way that they do Overwatch League. And that undermines the entire activity in itself, because it makes you question the integrity of the actual competitive players at the high levels. It's like, well, how did they get to where they're at?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, right? You see everything been advertised in LFD, LFG all the time. You hear the problems that PvPers are having. It's an insane amount of money. Like, actually, there's GP Trismo saying it's like 8 tokens for 1,800 or
Damn.
14 tokens for 2,100.
What?
That's what people are paying. They're paying people are giving 14 WoW tokens of gold for 21.
14. A WoW token is the equivalent of a month of gameplay, right? So how much does it cost for a month of WoW? month of WoW sub. $14.99 US. So, $14.99 USD to CAD, because I'm Canadian. 1883. Whoops. 1883 times 14 at minimum. $263.62. So that you can get to 2100. Damn. And then 18 tokens, so like over $300. Dude. What's wrong with people? Why do they have to ruin everything? God. I digress.
100 rating.
So then, right, so if the person's selling, that means that they get 21 WoW tokens for taking somebody to that rating.
Well, they'll get that amount of gold.
That amount of gold.
Yeah.
Now, they then can't cash any of this out. So that's just paying for a service, but that you can use token to get that gold.
Right.
And then action isn't taken against people who RMT with gold, seemingly.
Okay.
That's it. It seems to be the problem where it's like, there's all these ways you can go, well, that's acceptable, that's fine. And that obscures everything that's happening underneath it.
Sure.
Instead of bringing it into the light. Where
And then, yeah. No, but then what that really does, though, is because whenever that person is at a bad rating, when they're new, and we've maybe seen this, let's just say, now look, I'm not that good at PvP.
Yep.
I don't want to be mean, but, you're probably not also that good at PvP. We're both not that good at PvP.
Yeah.
There's been times where we've wanted to get into PvP. So, we're going in there, we're climbing, we're pushing rating, and then as soon as we hit like 1200 or near there, it's like, oh, suddenly it gets harder. And it should, because we should be forced to get better. But then there's times we get a bunch of matches where we would just see one fucking god.
Yeah.
We'd see one player who, you can take out easy. And then this absolute golden god who could probably solo both of us somehow. And, we're not good enough at PvP to understand how they do that, but, clearly a boost. And you can see that. You can see when it's clearly a boost. And that just means that, it's not like it's a problem happening in its own corner, like maybe it would be for somebody who's boosting, Sanctum of Domination, where I was like, okay, somebody got some gear they didn't deserve, but, it's not PvP, nobody notices. But then in PvP, obviously,
Right.
If you could say that there would be a lot of people who maybe would be more happy to get into PvP if this didn't exist. It certainly has been that.
Yeah, the fact that I realize this exists makes me not want to participate in PvP whatsoever. Not that I'm going to anyway.
That thing where I am way more interested in RBGs. I haven't done any of them because we haven't really got it going with the guild. I would like that to happen someday, but whatever.
But there's less potential for boosting to take place because of the party size. It's a raid.
For fun, I'd rather just do a BG.
Yeah. But there's
interesting.
Oh man. There's so many other things. I'm gonna see if I can see
That's fun because you're privy to all this info, but in a way where we can't exactly just share it all.
Yeah.
Other than a wink, quick, nudge, nudge, this has been heard from people who know.
Yeah. It's also like Blizzard employees are overtly aware.
Okay.
Of course.
Confirm.
Yeah, they literally know.
If Blizzard didn't know about this, all the comments they've been making about a lack of being in touch with the game would be all the more reinforced. I don't think they're completely out of touch to the point where they can't see when scammers are scamming on their game.
They literally know this, but they don't.
I guess it's not really scamming, is it? The only thing they're doing is ruining the integrity of the game itself.
Think about it, because the token means that the gold funnel is really weird. I'd love to draw a diagram really quick where how the gold funnel actually goes, but it's the case that you can Google and just find boosting communities that are selling, Mythic plus 10.
Right.
What is it? How much is it? It's like 100 and something euro for your guild, your great vault full of Mythic plus 10s. I can't remember if that's self-play or not, but that's even an option. Sort of shows what the crack is there.
Yeah.
But it's a case where I feel like I'll need to collect a lot more information before I can do anything as much as make a video on it or anything like that there.
Right.
But it's just I feel like the community's not quite not quite realized that so much of what's wrong with the pugging community is the idea of boosts.
Oh,
And
of
how
course.
much players are boosting.
How would people not realize that unless they're already done the content and waiting for more content? There's so many. It's so prevalent. You see people complaining about it in general chat. I can't find groups because everything's a boost.
Because you can just pay for shit. And
Yeah.
it's endemic because all of the mythic raiders are doing it. And
Right.
no one finds it a problem because it's all in gold. But then it's the people at the top who are RMTing that gold and getting the profit.
Of course.
Does it mean Scripe admitted to buying a bunch of gold from Gallywix and nothing happened there?
Yes. So Gallywix was basically, it was like the big cabal of boosters, but they had set up like matchmaking systems and like bots and stuff. So it was a
Right.
fucking, I mean,
Yeah.
it's the sort of thing
They had a gold selling empire, this guild.
I obviously have to
And there were a bunch of guildies who were completely unbeknownst to the situation. It was just like the executive team.
officially be like, oh, we're down with that sort of thing. This
Executives on a guild. Anyway.
is terrible.
Yeah.
But there's also that little bit of me that's like,
Yeah.
that's a fucking credit to you. You've hustled that one pretty damn well. You know, there's that bit where you
Yeah.
can kind of respect the hustle, even though it's certainly the sort of thing you go back. I mean, don't do that, but
Yeah.
good hustle.
You respect the execution, not the idea.
Yeah, it was like a
Sure.
pretty advanced and sophisticated way of managing all of that boosting.
Yeah.
But they got busted. Gallywix got busted, and yes, Scripe. So that Scripe admitted to RMT. Then we're
Oh yeah, he literally
Yeah.
there's literally a tweet from, was it around the Eternal Palaces? I can't remember.
and Scripe is the raid leader of Echo, who of
Yeah.
course just got world first.
Yeah, literally said that. Oh, there's
mean,
Dakor just hit us with stuff on the fly.
I remember there was something along the lines of them taking on like a loan from Gallywix, but that they paid it back in full. But, you know,
Oh,
there are a few things that ruin the game more than gold selling. The amount of things it impacts is absurd. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Gold selling is the bottom line. Like, what is the problem with WoW? And then that snowballs into a bunch of additional problems that come about as a result. Like people have been saying, World of Warcraft is now pay to win since the birth of the WoW token, because real money trading already existed, and at the end of the day, the only thing the WoW token does is it benefits the customer who wants to pay for gold, because they can say, well, I'm paying through a secure portal. I know that my information won't be compromised and I won't be frauded. Then you look at the fact that Blizzard's saying, we're well aware that there are these people from all over the world who are playing our game with the express purpose to earn money by selling gold. How can we take a piece of this away from them, because they shouldn't be doing it in the first place, but instead of trying to shut it down, let's see if we can capitalize. And that's the WoW token.
oh,
But
what have you
there's,
done, Mr. Dakor?
2v2, it costs 900,000 gold to get from 0 to 1400. Costs 4 million to get to 2100.
4 million.
Yeah, it costs a lot.
But what
Yeah.
does it cost in dollars? In dollars that you are sending to someone's PayPal account.
It would be like any other currency, because WoW Gold effectively has become a currency, a foreign currency that you exchange for. So it fluctuates what that's worth. But you can tell that it's a lot, or else people wouldn't be doing it. You have no idea how much the monthly subscription is expensive to someone that lives in South America or Africa? Oh, I do. It's expensive to a person in Canada. They say, oh, it's just $14.99. It's just a Netflix subscription. Yeah, and then you deal with the conversion of the almighty US dollar, forcing everybody to pay more. And we all get fucked. It's brutal.
Yeah.
Not via WoW token. That's what I'd really want to know. So does anyone like
Hmm.
know how much that costs in, I don't mean from, just Googling a random
Yeah.
boosting site and finding a number. Like, what do people actually pay when RMT does happen? I wonder. Someone said there, wow, GJ Echo. Everyone, from what I understand, like Scripe said that in a way where it was like, I mean, yeah, come on, everyone had done this.
Yeah, I believe that. WoW Gold is more valuable than Venezuelan Bolivar. I could totally see that. I can imagine that WoW Gold is worth more than the majority of the world's currencies, because the only currencies that fall beneath it are things like, the first world countries' currencies. Everything outside of that, you could potentially, if there was enough people who played WoW regularly, you could potentially use that money for real world transactions. It could effectively become a digital currency. That's how mind bending it is, how profitable WoW gold farming has been for years and years and years. It happened since the inception of the very first expansion, or I shouldn't even call it an expansion, since vanilla WoW. Gold, real money trading has been a thing. And so the fact that it's taken this long for anybody to even comment on it, the resounding theme we all know: nobody cares. If you could get all your gold and set it to a digital wallet and use it as digital currency, dear sweet lord, yeah, people would be endlessly grinding in WoW so that they could go do things in life, like pay for meals and stuff like that. And it would just be a matter of funneling that gold that you earned to players in the game. It's only a matter of time before some game comes along with that premise of incorporating game with real life money. There's pay to win games where you're only getting something in the game, but think about earning skins in Counter-Strike and how that became a thing where people sell their skins on an online marketplace with fluctuating values. And then all those gambling sites came about where you could gamble your skins to turn it into money. The moment you introduce this value, it's a matter of time before people figure out a way to exploit it. I know 2 stories of girls that sold themselves for WoW Gold. Back in original TBC, one sold sex, presumably, for 5,000 gold for an epic mount. And early this year, the same thing, but for 5 million gold. Probably like classic versus retail, because they have different inflations. Damn. Yeah, that's not surprising at all. And when you think about what's is it on retail? There's that realm called Moonglade that specifically is just renowned for being the erotic roleplay server. I saw Asmongold interview a girl about, the kinds of things people are into and what they're willing to pay for it. There are so many like shady underground organizations, if you want to call them that exploit WoW for real world profit. And it's messed up because I don't think you see it as much in almost any other title. And I think that just comes from the fact that WoW was first and it's been around the longest. But I imagine many of those organizations are going to try to shift and look for other avenues to capitalize on with WoW's managed decline. You already see it when you go to some gold farming sites. You see them offering other resources. I saw even a site where they were selling items for real money for your Animal Crossing Horizons account or whatever. I don't have a Nintendo Switch. I haven't played any of the Animal Crossings, but really? The stuff that is like the entire point of the game, collecting and having these trophies that show your achievement, you want to buy those? Why?
Like I wouldn't be surprised if, I guess Scripe was Method at the time. But, I wouldn't be surprised if like I don't want to say any names because it would be improper.
Yeah,
of course.
Just be like, oh yes, Limit totally do it as well because they all do it.
Well,
but I don't literally know.
Well, Limit it's hard to say if this connects them to RMTing, but they are literally sponsored by Hokan Boosting.
What?
Like, there's a boosting service they're officially sponsored
What's
by.
it called?
Itch.io Kan. Hokan. I'm not very good at my Chinese pronunciation.
So it's a boosting community, it
Yeah.
says, if I go to their website.
Oh my
Also,
god.
before we go there, there's
It's a community,
I was
so
asked to pay real money. It
we're
was
not breaking any
250
laws.
euro for 2,400 last season. That's someone else in chat.
Wait,
There's someone else. I can admit that I sold 1 million gold for $40 in a certain EU realm. Streamers get boosting for free. Yeah,
wait, what's that again?
that was $1 million. $1 million for 40 gold. 1 million gold for $40.
Fuck, man, that is a lot cheaper than token. You
Yeah.
can see why people would do it.
Yeah.
It's very funny. As I go to Hukan here,
Yeah.
everything is just like a gold only community.
That's what people have to realize also, is the fact that I think the oldest site of the kind I know is Darkest Fantasy Erotica. Oh. That's funny. But the token as of right now doesn't exist, but it's been data mined out of the code for the Burning Crusade. So as of right now, on average, you can see it kind of declining because of less players and less players interested in buying gold. But probably around like $35, $40, $45 US for 1,000 gold in Classic. The only thing the token is going to help with is diminishing the level of profit that the black market trader can make. All they're doing is saying, okay, 1,000. If you want to say that the WoW token is worth 1,000 gold just to even the level, so then effectively that $40 price tag for 1,000 gold on Classic becomes $14.99 US or less if the farmers want to compete, which severely hemorrhages their profits. But at the end of the day, you have to think about the mindset of Blizzard and why they're making that move. It's not to benefit the customer, it's to benefit the company. It's going to get all that money that they're hemorrhaging away into their pocket. So I think the whole thing's detestable.
Community.
Yeah.
Warning. Services are very strictly World of Warcraft gold only.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's say I want to go, Mythic rating. Let's just say all of those haters that we've got who say that, I just purchased Curve Boost.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 24 million for me to get 10 out of 10 Mythic.
Mhm.
That's a wee bit much. Interesting.
Yeah, let's see. Is there anything else from Dak?
But then there's been maybe people saying that there isn't RMT going on via this community, but perhaps is it a case where people would say that this community is somewhere where RMT could be adjacent to it because you have a bunch of boosters in the same place? Maybe is that what people would say?
So that's what I think the real danger is, and this is why I want to bring WoW token into the discussion, because it's so obvious, and I've been saying it since it happened. I've been laughing at how intelligent it is for Blizzard on the money making perspective, because they're just going, okay, well, we'll just get extra money from subs. Everyone who's a gold farmer in this game, not a literal gold farmer, but people who have gold in this game are going to have someone else pay extra for their sub. That's how it now works. We've just upped how much money we're taking for each sub, which is incredible in the first place.
Right.
But then you've got the fact that it now completely masks everything else. Because if you see someone who is utter dog shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they've got curve, and you go, well, you're a booster. They're like, yeah, WoW token. And you're like, okay, well then,
Now you have a legitimate excuse to not be harassed because, oh, well, I acquired the gold that I needed to do this, and then I paid for an in-game service off of a player, and that's allowed.
Yeah, I guess it's then that interesting thing where it's like, so let's just say, I wanted to ensure that the profit-based bonus of every employee here was awful, but I wanted to do lots of DPS.
Yeah.
So I just bought WoW tokens to funnel as much loot to my character as possible so that I could screenshot a good log in Heroic or something.
Yep.
That would be a irresponsible and mean way to run the business. But let's just say I did that, and that I actually could do that.
Yeah.
And, I could get... So let's just say, right, we were running through normals. And I'm in this situation where, well, I just want gear for my character. So I am going to purchase a Heroic boost, and I'm going to purchase a Mythic Plus boost.
Right.
So I could leverage a whole bunch of WoW token or in-game gold,
Mhm.
and I could get more gear on my character, which would make me do better in our guild raid. So that's something that I could do. WoW token supports that, and seemingly quite a few people do that, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess for a heroic raid clear, a full clear personal loot is 3.5 mil. A full clear 2 funnels
Yeah.
is 900,000.
Wow.
Well,
So 2 funnels, what?
that'll be two other players designed who will funnel all drops they get to you. Well, Dakar actually added to the document with a load of, actual real RMT boosting places. And you've got prices like, let's see. You want Gladiator, €900.
Wow.
There you go.
€900. That's a lot in Canadian dollars. What?
Damn, that's a lot of money for Gladiator. Like, that ain't worth it.
Yeah, PvP gearing bundle, €750.
Okay.
Vicious
So-
saddle boost, €137. PvP upgrade bundle, €1,000. And I think this is the problem. Like, well, there's Great Vault, Mythic Keys, raid bosses, €248.
Yeah, I'm looking here. Like, so on the
So expensive.
base for M plus 15 is 375k. Loot funnel. So I guess like if I was a hunter, that would just mean that they bring along another hunter.
Yeah.
And that hunter funnels me the loot. 468k.
Yeah.
Key 445k. Loot and key 538. Base timed 515. Loot funnel timed 608. Loot and a timed key 888k. So that's a lot of gold. That's like 4 tokens.
Yeah.
I don't think that's worth it, but I guess that's something that people actually do.
Who has this kind of money? What do they do? And why do they see a benefit to this?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think the problem is. I feel like this is just sort of normal now for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Who'll admit to it? I'm not sure, but it's just
Nobody
so
will.
much of this is actually boosting.
So, oh man.
Why let it happen?
Here's my perspective, because I actually I find myself liking player-driven economies, and I think that, in World of Warcraft there is a good sector. I'm perfectly happy and fine with there being a services sector in the World of Warcraft economy, and that, you might think, oh yeah, look at you trying to apply real world. No, fuck that. Fuck that completely. This World of Warcraft is a virtual goddamn world, and it has an economy.
That's true. I will say one of the things, rather, there are 2 things that I've really greatly benefited from being a World of Warcraft player in my youth. Learning how to be an effective typist and learning about many of the economic fundamentals that made me a better economics student, I should say. The way the game is right now, the only purpose to level a character is to make you spend more time playing, so you need to pay more for game time. Yeah. It's this vicious cycle that leaves you feeling more stressed and depressed than it does happy and elated. It's not fun.
And I am fine with
I've canceled and I've uninstalled. I have another, today's the 6th, 23 days left on my subscription, and I'm just going to let it die. I'm over it.
there being a services sector in that economy. The problem is WoW token messes it up because it brings the IRL economy and it creates a bridge between that and the WoW economy. Now, that bridge has always existed in the form of, RMT.
Yeah.
That was always very much looked down upon. And from what I understand, because, I had friends who bought gold, I had friends who got banned for buying gold. It was shit that Blizzard could track. But, with this, Blizzard are just thinking, cool, well, the more people funnel their IRL money into World of Warcraft, the
more we make.
For us.
Yeah.
That's why we came up with the token, so that we could take a piece of that.
So it's interesting. The incentives are not aligned. This is actually, it's an interesting way of Blizzard being able to make, the people who do this are probably not store mount people.
Yeah.
But my God, they're probably worth more money because you remember, right? 1 token equals 1 month of sub. Difference is it's $5 more for Blizz. So if somebody buys 10 tokens worth of boosting, that's like buying, I mean, it's like 10 months of sub, but an extra $5 for every one of just a clear margin, man. So you can totally see how, Blizzard benefits from this system too, even though it's not ideal for the players.
It doesn't take a lot of brain power to figure it out and connect the dots. It's not a matter of making the game better for players. It's a matter of maximizing profits for the organization. Like, they have stakeholders. This is a public company.
I think. So it's that thing. If token didn't exist and it was just, I want some gear in my character. I'm a really big crafter. I've done all of this stuff with the economy. I'm now going to purchase a boosting service from another set of players.
Is Blizzard a public company? Actually, I want to think about that a little more in depth. Is Blizzard a publicly traded company? Traded as... Okay, so it's traded under Activision. That makes sense. Part of the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500? Oh my God. Ugh. Ah.
To get some gear for my character. In my head, if that is like gold that is earned by engaging in the game economy, that's all good and healthy. Because that gold will have been earned by providing flasks, providing armor kits, things that people actually use. So that's all nice, healthy part of the economy. But then it's like the second that the IRL money can get in, it just blows the whole thing up.
Yeah, and that's where I think the IRL...
it's fascinating.
Yeah, I feel like this is a problem with Blizzard is allowed to fester for a variety of reasons. And I feel like if they're to try to revitalize World of Warcraft in any magnificent sense, they really do need to show up and be like, okay, we need to tackle RMT. We need to tackle botting as well. We need to fix the economy. But at this point, I feel like there's probably a reason that they don't really go for it.
It's very simple. You talk about economics. You take the hypothetical versus the reality of how much money they make. They can exercise getting rid of bots and maintaining the integrity of the game as it exists, or they can create a way to take a piece of the real money trading economy that's come about in their game as a result of human nature. People want to find opportunities to benefit themselves, and this is one of those ways that people, demonstrate their greed. It just is what it is. It's not everybody, but there's a lot of people who just operate that way. They're like, you know what? I can take advantage of some people. Let's go for it. And in my opinion, you are taking advantage of those people because you are attempting to demonstrate to them that what you're doing is valuable to them, when in fact, it's not only a disservice to them, but it's a disservice to the entire community that you're participating in. And you don't belong if that's the only reason you're there.
They don't solve these problems immediately. And I imagine, I don't like to say this because it's a very big allegation, but I imagine there are...
And I apologize to you specifically, Wale, because you say that you profited and lived off of this from 2006 to 2007, and I'm not blaming you. I blame Blizzard. They shouldn't have allowed you to do it. And I'm not saying that I wish I could turn back time and make it so that you wouldn't survive in 2006. That's not what I'm saying. I'm speaking objectively about the game and those who run it and their lack of action to permit not you, but some much larger fish from being able to benefit from this for years and years and years. Full-blown organizations that refer to themselves as communities just to put a veil over, Oh, I agree. Like I said, you did what you had to do to survive. I'm not blaming you at all. I think what you did was what you had to do at the time. Now, putting that aside, Blizzard, as a game developer who designed a game, should not have permitted people to make real world profits through their game. They should do a better job of moderation. That's all I'm saying. Because that's what's ultimately caused so many people to give up and move on, is that there are so many more options now than there used to be, even if they're not the best options. It's better than feeling like you're stuck on a treadmill, competing against all these people who are just real world wealthier than you are. It's not fair.
There are people attached who are, making use of it for whatever reason or the other.
For sure.
Oh.
That's what I have to imagine. I don't have anything to actually say on that front, but I feel like, it's the same with any black market that exists. If you imagine, you're like, well, how does this black market exist? Well, it's probably corruption somewhere.
Yeah,
in the
there's
chain.
a corrupt cop somewhere.
Yeah, there's a cop being bribed somewhere in this chain. Is the logical conclusion you're likely to come to?
Of course.
As to whether that's true or not is impossible to say, and it's an irresponsible thing to highlight, honestly. But I feel like it should be a focus at Blizzard to look at how the in-game economy is impacting player behavior and player, how the entire system is designed.
Yeah.
Player behavior. How about player participation? People don't want to participate when they can't afford to compete.
And how those are interacting together to make a substantially worse experience for a huge amount of their players.
Is this the twit longer off Asmon? Because I was interested in that. Asmon Gold Slams Blizzard. Okay, we're just about done with this one, and I'll shift right into it.
Man, that is some stuff.
Yep.
That is some stuff. I guess it's the sort of thing too, and I do want to be able to give some credit to the Blizzard staff who probably do think this is an issue.
Yeah.
But all I'd say is,
it's not like we want to paint with a broad brush here. We say Blizzard, and when we talk about Blizzard, we talk about those who have the authority and decision-making power to make change. I'm not going to cast blame on people who are just trying to do their 9 to 5 and go home. Or people who are trying to do their 9 to 5 passionately and really believe in the game. Those are the people we covet the most. But, they're forced to be unfortunate bystanders, and it's not fair. Also, I haven't been pedaling. I want to pedal so that I can exercise as I'm doing all these reactions to videos. But yes, we're just going to finish this off, and then we're going to switch over to Asmongold blasting Blizzard, slamming Blizzard.
imagine being the guy at Blizzard who, is like, okay, I've identified this problem. It's totally being facilitated by WoW Token.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Well, good luck telling your boss to change Token because it does great for Blizzard.
Exactly.
There's probably loads of people in the WoW team who get that this is a problem, who feel very passionately about it. I mean, imagine working in PvP. The people who work in PvP almost certainly understand the scope of this problem and are very alarmed by it. But at the same rate, it is something that I think quite obviously does drive a whole bunch of profit. So it's going to be hard for them to affect change.
Yeah.
For sure. So
You're talking about people who are afraid for their jobs every single day. There was that one particular story of a woman who kept going into work and being told by her supervising manager that today might be her last day at work. Can you imagine that feeling? Because I know exactly how that feels. The last job that I had, I was working in a call center, and every day I came into work, the senior manager, this horrible devil of a woman, just going out of her way to upset people, to bully them, to make them feel like they're not worthy of working in that environment, and to make them feel like at any moment could be their last straw, their last strike, time to go. And before I knew it, I was her target. It was terrible. It's a terrible feeling. I wish it on nobody. Especially in a place that's supposed to be fun. I was working for the financial sector. This is a game. Where's the, crazy cool environment that promotes creativity and passion? Nowhere. Not profitable. Especially considering the stories we heard recently. Oh, I just responded to that.
there's plenty of people at Blizzard, I'd say almost everyone at Blizzard, who would come down on our side on this, but they're just not empowered to make that change.
Of course. Of course. Goes without saying.
I feel like a dick is the cosmological antithesis to a salad.
Dick
There
salad.
is one superhero that I actually